Yes, Slaanesh, consider it done. Painting Noise Marines? Let's do this! Oosh! Saved by Slaanesh. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another Saved by Slaanesh episode, and I know it's been a few weeks since I did one. So first of all, I want to do a little Saved by Slaanesh update. Then I want to talk about my Noise Marines that I'm now painting, and as usual, I'm going to be after some feedback and advice from you guys. Before that though, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so first of all, a little Saved by Slaanesh series update. I know there's going to be a few of you watching this video that've never seen one of the other episodes in the series. Basically, I am building and painting a new Slaanesh / Emperor's Children based army. At the moment, I'm just about to paint 36 Noise Marines. Actually, I have made a start on them, but more about that in a minute. Now, I was uploading every Saturday a Saved by Slaanesh episode as I progressed with the army, building and converting it. However, when it came to painting, I then split the painting videos off, in particular for my Demon Princess, as a separate series. Well, now I'm going to bring them together. The main reason for that is I'm not actually building anything for the army at the moment. I'm going to concentrate on painting my 36 Noise Marines. So Saved by Slaanesh is now going to basically turn into a bit of a painting update for my Noise Marines. You will still see other videos in the series as well as painting updates, but at the moment it's going to be about painting those Noise Marines. I have Slaanesh on my back telling me, get them painted, Nick. So that is what I'm going to do. So let's have a talk about my painting. Okay, so a few weeks ago I finished building my Noise Marines. I was then waiting for a decent day to be able to spray them, to prime them black, ready for painting. I had to wait a week or so before I could actually get them primed, but once that day came, I sprayed them black. Now, even though my Noise Marines are going to be black and pink, primarily quite a lot of black on the models, I still had to go in and base coat the models with black over the top of the primer. And the reason for that is the primer black is a slightly different black to the Abaddon black paint that I'm going to use. So if I'm going to be touching up some mistakes at some point over the armour, it will actually come out a slightly different colour. So my first job was to go over all of the model with a thinned down black paint over everything, just so that the black is exactly the same if I need to touch up. Now once that was done, I thought I would start working on the bases. Now I don't normally paint the bases first in an army, however with this particular paint scheme it makes sense to do the bases first because basically they're quite messy. I'm going to be doing washes and dry brushes on the bases, and also where I've got quite a lot of detail on the bases they can be a bit awkward to get to. So I envisage I will have some touching up to do once I've finished the bases. So I'm going to do the bases first and then I'm going to work on the actual Noise Marines themselves. Now I have made a start on the bases. I painted all of the rocks with Dawnstone Grey. I had to do 3 coats of paint on that just to cover up the black primer, but it's a great start. A little bit tricky to get the paintbrush in, and I can tell it's going to be a little bit tricky to get the paintbrush in to the goopy rivery stuff and also the tentacles as well. However, it's a job which I think I have to get done first before I can paint the actual Noise Marines. Now as you know, once you have a model primed, it tends to bring the model together a little bit more, especially when you've got lots of different materials in a conversion for that model. So for me, for example, I had green stuff on there, I had rocks, I had plastic, I had resin, and I had some metal bits. Sometimes you can't see how a model's going to look until you've actually primed it. So once it was primed and I've been painting these rocks, I've been looking at these models in quite detail just to find out how I'm actually going to paint certain areas of the model. Now I've got a lot of Spellcrow stuff on these models. Now if you haven't seen the Spellcrow website yet, definitely check it out. Their address is www.spellcrow.com. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. They've got some awesome stuff on there. Now you may know I am a huge Prince fan. I have been for many years, since 1988 in actual fact. Now one thing that I really loved about Prince was how he reinvented himself with a theme for each album that he released. And indeed, one of those themes was his colour. So sometimes he might have, say, yellow, sometimes it was purple, sometimes it was peach, sometimes it was white. And each theme that he had a different coloured guitar. And I'm wondering if I might paint the guitars on my Noise Marines the same sort of colour themes that Prince had on his guitars. So maybe a white one, a purple one, a yellow one, you get my drift. But I am wondering, would that look a little bit odd on my Noise Marines? Now one option could be to bring that colour of the guitar into the other 6 models in the unit. So for example, if I had a yellow guitar, I maybe could somehow bring that yellow colour into the other Noise Marines for that particular unit of 6. Now as I said, I've got 6 units of 6. However, sometimes I'll be playing them in 3 units of 12. So if I have 2 different coloured units, let's say one's got purple in and the other one's got yellow in, that might look a little bit odd. So maybe I should just make the champion have the additional colours. That's what I'm thinking, but I'd love to know what you think. What should I do about A, the colours of the guitars, and B, if I go for quite vivid, unusual colours, should I bring those colours into the units or just keep those colours for the guitars themselves? Now of course I know that Noise Marines are supposed to be multicoloured anyway. The original sort of colour scheme for Noise Marines were bright colours all over the place. Now I'm not necessarily going to go for that look. I think I want the look of pink and black. However, I could bring that colourful aspect into the champions themselves rather than the whole army. So like I said, let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video and you want to find out how exactly I end up painting these Noise Marines, then please hit my icon at the end of the video so you can keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k. Beam me up!